Hey, welcome to volume 289. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer. I'm glad to have you along for the ride. 289. I think that was the size of was it my Mustang or my Falcon? I think it was my Falcon. One of my first cars had a 289 in it, 65 Ford Falcon. It actually wasn't my car, it was my dad's car. But I treated it like it was mine. I took good care of it. I washed it and I waxed it. In fact, it had red paint. We bought it from my Uncle Jim, and it was paint was pretty faded when we got it. And I want to say my dad only paid $500 for it or something. So I got the turtle wax out there and the elbow grease, and brought that paint back to life. I believe it had hubcaps on it when we first got it. At some point along the way, I put some Kreger 5-spokes on it, put some hijacker air shocks in the back, and stuck that ass up as far as it would go, baby. I tell you, it would jar your teeth loose because there was no shock left. I had those things maxed out. There was a little nipple in the trunk, so when my dad was driving it, it was normal. But when I went out to drive it, I would go out and put the air in there and jack it up. And then at one point, I think I put some 50 series tires on it. So Dad had no choice; it had to stay up in the air. Wasn't real thrilled about it, but yeah. And so I drove that car. I would get up super early in the morning, take my dad to work, and then I would drive the car to high school, and then I would have to go get my dad in the afternoon. And yes, it was hours, because there was traffic on the freeway and everything. But boy, it was worth it to be able to go to high school and have my own car. Not to say that I went off campus or anything with the car, but had a good time. And then, gosh, what ended up happening to that Falcon? I think he gave it to my sister, my younger sister. Either gave it to her or sold it to her, because I do remember a couple of years later, I had a real nice 79 Datsun pickup that was all tricked out. Gosh, if I can find a picture of it, I'll stick it in right here. And so we're pulling out of church, and I'm getting ready to make a right-hand turn. And I guess my sister wasn't paying attention or dropped her purse, whatever it was, and boom, right in the back of my truck. And it was all custom in the back. It was rolled. Tailgate was the word Datsun was taken off the tailgate. It was all smoothed out, chrome handles. It was nice. Color changing paint job on it. And this was back in, gosh, 79, maybe 80, right around there. But anyways, I don't know what finally happened to that Falcon. I'll have to ask my sister and find out. But good times, many good times. Surfing on that thing, sticking out the side windows, picking up my buddies on Saturday morning. I was the only one that had a car. In fact, I think I was the only one that had a license at that point. So I would go around and wake my buddies up on Saturday morning. I'm out there throwing rocks and stuff at the window. So finally I told them, look, if you're not up, I'm not waking you up. So it took them a few times of missing surfing on a Saturday morning, but they finally figured it out and woke up, and then it worked out good. Kenny, my buddy, got what was that? A Buick? It was a Buick station wagon, and it had over the second seat, it had the view ports up there, the two big long windows. I apologize, I can't think of what that was called. But man, that was the ultimate surf ride. We'd take that thing down to Salt Creek. It was so much fun. But anyways, had to go down to see my pulmonary doctor this morning. And I spoke about the beach yesterday and how beautiful it was. So here's a little bit of what my drive to the doctor, just a little bit of what my drive to the doctor looked like this morning. Enjoy. Looking at here. Okay, so we're coming up on the river jetty at Huntington. Looking out, and not much in the way of surf this morning. This is a pretty bouncy bridge. Not much in the way of waves. The shape's not that bad. Okay, so we're up at Sea Point. It's weird. It's supposed to be high tide, but that actually looks pretty low. They're just little ankle slappers today, but still beautiful. You can just see the outline of Catalina out there if you look real close. You can see our oil derricks out there, and you got some of the container ships and oil ships getting ready to drop off. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why I live where I live. Surf City, USA. I don't know if I can
break this out in time or if you can see it, but I'm down closer to the pier right now, and it is breaking much better down here. Much better. Look at that. Maybe a nice, kind of a short run. That second one looked pretty good. The Huntington Pier is where we are at on the PCH, heading to my pulmonary doctor's office.
Okay, so that was getting down there. It wasn't the whole trip. That was part of it. Yeah, just I'm so invigorated to see the beach. It just does so much for me. And I wish that I had the GoPro with me today, because the dolphins were out and they were jumping and playing the way dolphins do and having a great time. And I got to tell you, that's one of the experiences that I will never forget. And it happens many times because the dolphins are always there. But, we'll paddle out and we're just sitting around talking. And all of a sudden, right next to you, whoosh, up comes a dolphin. In fact, I have a little GoPro video of me, sitting there, and I held the camera up and you can see him go by me in the back. But it's an amazing feeling to be that close to, an intelligent creature like that. It's just so cool. Just amazing. But anyways, okay, so went to see my pulmonary doctor this morning, and the what's it called? The lung disease. The word influenza is popping to mind, but that's not what it is. Gosh, if I can think of what it is, I'll put it along here. But he said that it shows on the X-rays that I have that, but my lung capacity and the way my lungs function, it's not active yet. So I guess I will get it at some point down the road. He did, however, tell me today that I'm an asthmatic. So I'm starting down the road of asthma, which my mother had to deal with for years. So he's going to put me on an inhaler. And it was weird because I don't think about it. The times that I'm out of breath, obviously it happens when I tie my shoes. And, you large guys understand what I'm talking about. Bending over to tie your shoes cause you to feel like you're going to pass out. But he's going to put me on an inhaler, and it has two kinds of medication in there. It's used as needed. So if I feel like I need it, then I can, take two puffs off of it and wash my face out. I'm going to try and nonchalantly move my microphone over here and pray that you're able to hear me on yesterday's video and you can hear me on today's video. I apologize. I did not realize my mic was sitting all the way over there. Okay, so in asthma, got the inhaler. Everything else, he said, looks great. The COPD is gone from last year. The pneumonia that I had is gone. We're going to do a CT scan in January. I'll go back to see him in February. He wants to take one more look and see if that glass hazing is still in there. That I had last year about this time. And after because I had COVID, pneumonia, and COPD, all this stuff all at the same time. Well, 99% of what I had is gone. Now I'm just going to deal with the asthma. So obviously losing some weight would help with the asthma. It's not going to cure it, but it would help because, the more fat you get off your lungs, the easier it is for you to breathe. So I'll be working on that. That being said, I have to show these to you. If you guys have not seen these, okay. All right. So you know how Grandma and Grandpa always carried Werthers, right? The little caramels in there. And that's always associated with Grandma and Grandpa. Well, now I'm, Grandpa, so I got to have these. I don't know if you noticed or not, but the particular flavor is caramel apple. So the outside of it is caramel, soft, and the inside, the chewy candy part on the inside, is like a sour apple, like a green apple. I got these without thinking about it. I was in CVS and they were by the register. I take that back. My granddaughter and I were at Target checking out when she was here last time, and I saw them and I thought, oh, that looks good. At the time, I had the tooth over here that was being worked on, so I couldn't eat these because of the caramel. So I told myself, hey, after the tooth and everything is taken care of, I'll have these. And so I got the tooth taken care of, had them. Oh my gosh, they're fantastic. Got online to try and find some more, couldn't. Finally did find them on Amazon, And I think I bought, they're not the big bags like this, they're just small packages. I think I bought 9 of them. So I'm gonna, space them out. Boy, they're really good. If you've never tried them, they're fantastic. They're delicious. Don't eat the whole bag at one time, but have one once in a while. Okay, so doctor covered that today. Gosh, I think I'm done for this week with doctor's appointments, I think. But at any rate, I told you yesterday about the nightlight that Steve made for me. That he had another name for it. I'll look in the text and see what, or look in the email and see what it was. And I will show that to you. I just need to figure out a way to really show it off. I have a short video of it, in the wall, but I'd like to do a little better quality one, and then I'll get that up there to show you. So thank you so much for being there. Thanks for watching the videos. Gosh, I feel so good today. I really do. And I appreciate all the comments. I got a lot of text yesterday, and my buddy Steve, that I used to work on the radio with, we had a good exchange yesterday. So Steve, you working your way off the nice list there, buddy. But at any rate, I love you all. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you for all the prayers, for all the positive energy that you put out into the universe, for all the good thoughts, for all the aloha, for all the shaka, for all the good juju that you guys send my way. I'm extremely grateful, and I will see you on the next video.